Time now for the Nick Hart Show, our weekly chat with the Gibson Southern Titans head football coach, Nick Hart. It's a presentation of the Gibson Southern Football Boosters, including Hip Dentistry, in memory of Darwin and Eric Kalis, JMCO Technologies, Kiesel Enterprises Incorporated, MyTech Systems, Robert Goob Vermillion of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, Rhythm Church, Evansville, Scotty's Lawn Equipment, 10 Barge Seed and Turfgrass Supplies, TYFL, Vogler Metalwork and Design Incorporated, Reinbrecht Homes, Stodgel Funeral Home and Monuments, Young's Auto Body, Light Transport, Brett's Car Care, Baker Tax and Financial Services, Cordray Insurance, Daylight Land Management, Davis Brothers, Du Bois County Garage Doors, Duke Energy, Foster Construction, Fort Branch Dairy Queen, Harper's Pub and Pizza, Hobstadt Summerfest Incorporated, Heidorn Construction, Hobstadt Family Dentistry, Hen Orthodontics, Hillside Gardens, ADG Architecture and Design Group, Dady Oil, Johnson Commercial Mowing, in loving memory of Zach Bailey, Julia's School of Dance, Kathy Solman Photography, Make Your Mark, United Fidelity Bank, Vertical Tile, Grandparents of Jackson Adams, Tri-State Fence, Emerson Cattle Company, Iron Horse Bar and Grill, Deborah Borchelt, and Pole Concrete. The Nick Hart Show, a special presentation of the Gibson Southern Football Boosters, Wabash Valley College's Radio, TV, and Digital Media Department, and 89 Won the Bash, starts now.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Nick Hart Show here on 89.1 The Bash and BashRadio.com. Cole Carter with you as we are now into the postseason here in 2021. The Gibson Southern Titans begin their sectional play this Friday on the road in Mount Vernon, a rematch with the Wildcats. We'll get some more on that in just a bit, and we'll talk to head coach Nick Hart here in just a bit as well. But let's recap what happened last Friday. It was a 37-6 win for Gibson Southern over Boonville to complete their second consecutive PAC Conference Championship. The Titans finished undefeated in the conference this season. Some stats from Friday's game: Brady Allen, 11 for 15 with 183 yards passing with 2 touchdown passes. Sean DeLong had 7 carries for 37 yards and 1 score. Adrian Lukeman, 6 carries for 30 yards and a touchdown. Levi Dickerson had 1 carry for 25 yards and a score. And in the receiving department, Rory Heltzley with 7 catches, 145 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Not to mention, in the pouring down rain was that win for Gibson Southern. Once again, final score 37-6. And also want to shout out the Titans' first team defense. We mentioned them completing the conference championship undefeated in the PAC, but that wouldn't have been done without this defense. The starting defense for Gibson Southern did not allow a single touchdown in the conference all season long. Truly unbelievable. Once again, Gibson Southern 2021 Pocket Athletic Conference champions, their second consecutive conference championship. We'll take our first break of the night. When we come back, we will talk with head coach Nick Hart. Don't go anywhere. It's the Nick Hart Show here on 89.1 The Bash and BashRadio.com.
The Nick Hart Show is brought to you by the following Gibson Southern Football Booster Gold sponsors: Brett's Car Care, Baker Tax and Financial Services, Cordray Insurance, Daylight Land Management, Davis Brothers, Du Bois County Garage Doors, Duke Energy, Foster Construction, Fort Branch Dairy Queen, Harper's Pub and Pizza, Hobstadt Summerfest Incorporated, Heidorn Construction, Hobstadt Family Dentistry, Hen Orthodontics, and by Hillside Gardens.
Welcome back to the Nick Hart Show here on 89.1 The Bash, as well as BashRadio.com. Cole Carter with you. Hope you're having a great Tuesday evening. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And joining me right now is Gibson Southern head coach Nick Hart. And Coach, as always, thank you for your time. First things first, what were your overall thoughts about Friday's win over Boonville in the pouring down rain, I might add?
Well, first thing is, winning a conference championship outright is always a goal in the program. So it was great for our kids to get that job done. And then, I thought we handled the elements as well as you possibly could. I thought we kept rolling on offense. No turnovers. I just thought we handled the conditions extremely well, and it's not going to rain any harder than what it did. I think that's probably the hardest rain that I've coached in. Because typically it's raining that hard, you get some lightning or something that knocks you off the field. So I think being able to handle those conditions and still, operate at the level we did was, a very good thing to see here as we head into the playoffs, because, we had a wet track and a sloppy track at Princeton, but, we really haven't played in any bad weather throughout the year. So thought that was great for us to get, a game like that in and still execute at a really high level.
You mentioned the elements, and it was pouring down rain pretty much from start to finish. Is there any way to prepare for conditions like that? Of course, guys in the NFL, they do wet ball drills in practice, or if you're Tom Brady, just let some air out of the football. But for you guys, is there any way to prepare for a game when it's just raining the entire time?
Yeah, we'll do some wet ball stuff from time to time. I mean, just the way the weather's been this fall, like we haven't even really practiced in rain. So I thought our guys did a good job of that. We put in some of that under center stuff this week, just knowing what the forecast was going to be, to give us an option if the weather did get really, really bad. So it was good to work on, and we had a great drive there going under center. So, but no, it's part, just kind of, we didn't even get to warm up in it. It was beautiful during warm-ups, and then right before kickoff, we got the heavy rain. So, no, there's not a ton you can do other than some wet ball stuff and just, kind of installing some stuff to have some stuff in for yourself offensively whenever it gets to that point.
You mentioned that under center package. Is that something we might see throughout the postseason, or was that specifically just for Friday night with the conditions and everything else? Because you guys did pretty well when you went to that formation and started pounding the football.
Yeah, we'll see here. I think that's kind of like you got to get through this week, and it's a game plan thing about what you're going to see from week to week. But, I don't think it's out the window. I think, weather conditions or short yardage and some stuff that, there's some certain things we can use that package as just like a little bit of a mix up, because we don't really have to change our personnel to get into it. So I think that's an advantage there. They can't really load up, with what we're doing. So I think there's some stuff that we can use on it. We're not going to become, a double tight I formation team by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it's something we can use from time to time as a change up, and just kind of depending on the looks that we're getting.
We've been talking about the defense all season long, and after last Friday, they officially went the entire regular season without allowing a touchdown to a conference opponent. That simply is amazing. Yeah,
it is. It's very incredible. I don't think I've ever been a part of something of that nature. So, it's a compliment to our coaches and kids on the defensive side and the job that they've done this year. And, I think the great thing about it is, in our league, and one of the things I like about our league, we saw everything from spread to option football, wing tee, wishbone. You kind of see a little bit of everything, and it challenges you at all three levels of your defense. So, to play all those different styles and come away having the success that we did, I think it is great. And we just got a bunch of guys on defense that fly around and get to the football. I think there's some times in the past where, we've played the run really well, and, we haven't played the pass as well, or vice versa. But, we saw all kinds of different offenses, throughout the course of the conference schedule and the non-conference schedule. And, I thought those guys did a great job on defense the entire time.
We will go ahead and take our second break of the night. When we come back, we'll look ahead to this Friday's rematch with Mount Vernon. Don't go anywhere. It's the Nick Hart Show right here on 89.1 The Bash.
The Nick Hart Show made possible by the following gold sponsors of the Gibson Southern Football Boosters: Hip Ministry, in memory of Darwin and Eric Kalis; JMCO Technologies, Kiesel Enterprises Incorporated, MyTech Systems, Robert Goob Vermillion of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, Ribham Church, Evansville, Scotty's Lawn Equipment, Tim Barge Seed and Turfgrass Supplies, TYFL, Vogler Metalwork and Design Incorporated, Reinbrecht Homes, Stodgel Funeral Home and Monuments, Young's Auto Body, and Like Transport.
It's the Nick Hart Show here on 89.1 The Bash. First round of sectionals week here in 2021. Gibson Southern will travel to Mount Vernon to have a rematch with the Wildcats this Friday night. Cole Carter with you, being joined by Gibson Southern head coach Nick Hart. And Coach will go ahead and look ahead to Friday night's matchup with Mount Vernon. What are you going to expect the second time around with the Wildcats?
Well, playoff games are always different than regular season games, and there's plenty of history, and we've been a part of it. Where you flip it, in the second game of the season when you play in the playoffs. You got to come in. You're ready to. What we did a few weeks ago does not matter. You're coming in and you're playing for your season to keep it going. And I think it is unfortunate that two ranked teams are meeting in the first round of the playoffs, but they don't let me make those type of decisions. It's a big game, obviously, for everybody in the state this week. But a very good football team. And I think sometimes when you're talking schematics as a coach, I think you got to make sure that you're not completely a sitting duck here, because they're going to change something from what they did the first time. I thought they had a good game plan, but we outplayed them. I think you got to go back and change some stuff. We don't know what that's going to be. And I think they're probably expecting us to roll out a very similar game plan. So I think you got to have a few wrinkles in there so you're not a sitting duck here, and they use that first game to know exactly what we're going to do to attack on both sides of the ball. So, again, we're not coming out in double tight I formation, but I think, just kind of mixing up some stuff that we've done, so they don't have, know exactly what they're going to see on both sides of the ball coming into the game.
So you guys played each other just 18 days ago, and that was arguably the best performance that we've seen from your team this season. And with that being said, is there anything that you're looking for your guys to improve on, anything to clean up, going into this game, facing off with this team for the second time?
That was a pretty good performance. Cut down the penalties that we had, last time against them, not put ourselves in some tougher situations, but I think just continuing to execute and playing at a really high level. I think since that South Warren game, we've been playing at an extremely high level in all three phases of the game, and keep that going. And we got to be ready to adjust onto the fly for some of the changes that we might see out of them. So I think that's kind of the unique thing here in Indiana is you play teams twice often. It's not always that way in other states. So you play teams twice, and things always change from the first time that you've seen them. So whatever they're changing, that we're ready to adjust to and get ready for on the fly.
From the Mount Vernon perspective, do you think there's anything that they might change the second time around? Because obviously earlier this month you guys won by 48 points. They didn't play very well. So is there anything that you guys think that they might try to do differently in order to change the outcome?
I don't know. We have some educated guesses on some stuff they might try, but when you go back and look at it, they only played, I think it was 24 plays against us. Their offense only played 24 plays against us, so we probably didn't even see everything that they had in and wanted to use in the first game. So, do I think they're going to come out, in the wishbone? No, but maybe just trying to use their spread stuff to attack a different part of our defense, or change up something formationally a little bit. You got to be able to kind of go on the fly with it. Defensively, they played off of us and made us drive the football. I think Brady threw it like 34 times in the first half against them the last time. which I thought was a great game plan. Nobody had made us do. We'd seen so much man, and they played a lot of quarters against us and tried to make us drive the ball down the field. And again, I thought a lot of people would kind of play us that way as we went through the season. But they're one of the few that we kind of saw that out of. So they blitzed us quite a bit in the first game and didn't get home. So I don't know if we're going to see a little bit more man to try and take away some of those throws. We got some kind of easy ones early, but we really don't know, what that is, because they threw a lot at us. Their defense threw a lot at us in the first game. So I think it's kind of just trying to guess a little bit about what they like the most out of what they did and maybe what you'll see more of, the second time around.
All right, Coach. Well, we're definitely looking forward to the matchup this Friday, first round of sectional action, Gibson, Southern, and Mount Vernon. Coach, thanks for your time as always. We'll chat with you next Tuesday for, hopefully, not the last time.
All right, thanks, Cole.
That's Gibson Southern head coach Nick Hart, and we'll take our final break of the night. When we come back, I'll get you caught up on everything that you need to know about this Friday's rematch with the Wildcats of Mount Vernon. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on The Nick Hart Show on 89.1 The Bash and BashRadio.com.
The Nick Hart Show is made possible by the following silver-level sponsors of the Gibson Southern Football Boosters: ADG Architecture and Design Group, Gady Oil, Johnson Commercial Mowing, in loving memory of Zach Bailey, Julia's School of Dance, Kathy Solman Photography, Make Your Mark, United Fidelity Bank, Vertical Tile, Grandparents of Jackson Adams, Tri-State Fence, Emerson Cattle Company, Iron Horse Bar and Grill, Deborah Borchelt, and Pole Concrete.
It's the Nick Hart Show here on 89.1 The Bash. Cole Carter with you, the fourth and final segment of today's show. And I'm going to get you ready for this Friday sectional matchup rematch, that is, with Mount Vernon, as the Titans travel to Posey County. The Titans were just there 18 days ago and won by a final score of 54-6. Mount Vernon has responded pretty well since that loss. If you look at what they've done in those two games since that loss, they defeated a very good North Posey team 42-14 and then defeated Washington back on Friday 54-6. So the Wildcats are arguably playing their best football of the season, which makes one think that this Friday's game will not be as one-sided as the first matchup was just 18 days ago. Of course, if you look at the recent history, especially for Gibson Southern playing teams the second time around, it's a different story. If you go back to 2019, Gibson Southern plays Heritage Hills in the regular season, a very good Heritage Hills team that would later go on to the state championship game. They play the Patriots in the regular season. They lose 49-19. They see them again in the second round of sectionals. They lose by 1 point. Go back to last season. They play Southridge in the regular season, lose 48-28. They see them again in the sectional semifinal, and they lose by just 3 points. So obviously the script is flipped here. This time it was Gibson Southern on the right side of the blowout against Mount Vernon earlier this month, but now the Wildcats have a chance to learn from their mistakes, study some more film on Gibson Southern, and put together a possible winning game plan. But I really think the difference maker in that game on October 1st was the Titans' defense. This Mount Vernon offense have been doing some great things. A dynamic quarterback in Nico Burnett who can throw the ball and who can run the football. And the Titans' defense really shut him down from the get-go. And what also helped, Gibson Southern was getting off to a hot start. They were up 21-0 in the first quarter of that football game. And those are the things that you have to do against a talented team. Those are things that the Titans are going to have to do really this point forward in the sectional, regional, semi-state, whatever it may be. They've got to find a way to get up early. If you go back to the South Warren game earlier this season, if you recall, the Titans were down 36-0 at halftime. And is the offense capable of making those big second-half comebacks? Of course, but it makes things a heck of a lot easier if you can jump out to those big leads in the first half, which the Titans have done in pretty much every game this season except that South Warren matchup. But if you think about about that game. That was in week 4. The Titans have been a different team ever since. They really have not played a close game at all this season, but I do think that this Friday's game will be entertaining. I think it will be exciting, and I do think the Titans will walk away with a win, but the Wildcats might make things interesting, and I'm excited for it, and I hope you are as well. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll have a pregame show for you at 6:45. Other games going on in the 3A Sectional 32 this Friday includes Heritage Hills hosting North Harrison, Evansville-Bosse will host Corydon Central, and Salem will travel to Southridge. If Gibson Southern wins on Friday, they'll face the winner of Salem and Southridge. Other sectionals going on in the area. In the Class 5A Sectional 15, Castle takes on Bloomington South, and Evansville North will travel to Bloomington North. In the Class 4A 24 sectional, Evansville Central gets the bye, and they will take on the winner of Memorial and Harrison. Evansville Wrights and Boonville squares off, and Jasper hosts Northview. And in another 3A sectional, this is sectional 30, Vincennes Lincoln will take the short trip to Princeton to take on the Tigers. Washington will host Edgewood, Pike Central will host Brown County, and Sullivan will travel to Owen Valley. Once again, Gibson Southern, they are at Mount Vernon. They will take on the winner of Salem and Southridge. That's going to wrap up tonight's edition of the Nick Hart Show here in the first week of sectionals. As always, I want to thank all of our Gibson Southern football sponsors and head coach Nick Hart for taking time out of his Tuesday to chat with me tonight. I'll be on the air this Friday night as Gibson Southern takes on the Wildcats. Once again, a 7 o'clock kickoff pregame show beginning at 6:45. Kyler Gammon will join me in the broadcast as usual. This has been the Nick Hart Show on 89.1 The Bash. I'm Cole Carter signing off. I'll chat with you on Friday night. Go Titans!
The Nick Hart Show has been brought to you by the following Gibson Southern football boosters: Brett's Car Care, Baker Tax and Financial Services, Cordray Insurance, Daylight Land Management, Davis Brothers, Du Bois County Garage Doors, Duke Energy, Foster Construction, Fort Branch Dairy Queen, Harper's Pub and Pizza, Hobstadt Summerfest Incorporated, Hydorn Construction, Hobstadt Family Dentistry, Penn Orthodontics, Hillside Gardens, Hip Dentistry, in memory of Darwin and Eric Kalis, JMCO Technologies, Kiesel Enterprises Incorporated, MyTech Systems, Robert Goob Vermillion of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, Rhythm Church Evansville, Scotty's Lawn Equipment, Ten Barge Seed and Turfgrass Supplies, TYFL, Vogler Metalwork and Design Incorporated, Reinbrecht Homes, Stodgel Funeral Home and Monuments, Young's Auto Body, Light Transport, ADG Architecture and Design Group, Gady Oil, Johnson Commercial Mowing, in loving memory of Zach Bailey, Julia's School of Dance, Kathy Solman Photography, Make Your Mark, United Fidelity Bank, Vertical Tile, Grandparents of Jackson Adams, Tri-State Fence, Emerson Cattle Company, Iron Horse Bar and Grill, Deborah Borchelt, and Pole Concrete. The Nick Hart Show has been a special presentation of the Gibson Southern Football Boosters, the Wabash Valley College Radio, TV, and Digital Media Department, and 89.1 The Bash.